If you use your brains and drive through there nice and steady, it's not a problem.
I'm back at Rufford Ford again. Got a confession, I forgot to add a little update last time. This is also the third take I'm doing of this because I keep getting it wrong, and Tom Sunderland, who's filming, keeps making me laugh. So this is Rufford Parish Council, got it right this time, and on here on the notice board is a letter. It says, "Dear," blacked out. "Thanks for your email below. I'm the nominated officer who has so far dealt with the Rufford Ford closure, so thank you for reaffirming the position of the Parish Council. I'm meeting with Councillor Gamble next week to detail the history of the closure and the current position. Briefly, after the consultation last year, we engaged with specialist consultants to advise us on some of the response suggestions received. We now have those reports, and the expectation is the new portfolio holder for highways and transport will consider this within the next few months and determine the council's position. Regards, Traffic Manager, Highways and Transport Group, Nottinghamshire County Council, County Hall, West Bridgeford, Nottingham, NG2 7QP." And this is, by the looks of it, it's an email trail. And then on the 21st of May, this was a reply to that. So what I've just read out was a reply to traffic management consultation. "Dear all, last night Rufford Parish Council held its first meeting since the change of county councillor representation. For the avoidance of doubt, councillors have asked me to write formally to confirm that the council remains of the view the ford should be permanently closed as set out in my email sent the 18th of January 2024. The councillors should also be grateful for an update on the statutory consultation process commenced in December 2023. Yours faithfully, Clerk to Rufford Parish Council." So what that means is this is the local parish council trying to close Rufford Ford, not the local villages or the people around or anyone else. This is just the local people for here wanting it closed. That's my interpretation of this. Now, that could be an incorrect interpretation, so that's not gospel, that is not set in stone. That is just my interpretation of this. However, as we know, Councillor Gamble has been down, and when he checked, it was 3 inches deep, and everyone's asking, why should this be closed for a handful of people that came here long after Rufford was built, having it as a private road? Doesn't quite make sense. So let's go and have a measure, because some of you decided, and you were saying, oh, you weren't standing in the middle. Oh, okay, we weren't standing in the middle. You do know, right, that water fluctuates in its level. Who would have thought? Yeah, so what we're going to do now is Tom and myself are going to go down. We're going to wander through. It's been quite heavy rain, and we're going to measure how deep it is. Now, bear in mind, all you naysayers, us, the YouTubers, haven't been here. So we haven't been here. It's not us that are creating any blockages or anything, or making the weeds grow or the reeds grow within the water runoff. And also, to answer another question for some of you who can't quite get this, you keep saying that we were encouraging people to drive through. Now, hold on to this thought. Here we go. Prior to us arriving, prior to YouTube being invented, they built the viewing gallery. Why? Oh, that's right, so people could watch cars going through. Why would people watch cars going through a puddle? Because they used to splash. That's right. So what we then did, and we just filmed the fails originally in the winter, but as summertime came and there was great frivolity and enjoyment here, what we did is we then filmed the people cheering for the cars to go through. Not us cheering, not us encouraging anyone. We simply filmed what the people were doing. And if you go back on any of the videos and have a look, you will indeed see the people cheering the cars that come through. Not the YouTubers, not the TikTokers or anyone else. And I'll explain for why. Because we're too busy keeping quiet while we're filming, and we are filming what is going on. So just for you little trolls that are finding it a bit difficult to grasp that, if you can, I know it's going to be a struggle, but if you can, try and comprehend that. Okay, and if you've got anything to say about that negative, just don't bother. You know, it's a bit like if you walk into a pub and you're there to cause trouble, you get thrown out or you're just not invited back. Don't do it on my channel. Don't do it on the other YouTubers' channels. Just don't do it on anyone's channel. Anyway, let's go and see how deep the Ford is today. So we've driven down the road. Oh, hang on. You complained about the parking. Well, guess what? It hasn't changed. There's still parking. Just putting that one out there as well. Yes, that's me. I'm a YouTuber. I've parked there. Well, I can hear Tom in the water. Let's have a little look-see. Now, Tom is wandering into the middle, bearing in mind it is still raining now. We've had heavy rain. We've had a yellow flood warning alert for the area. We've also had yellow warning for lightning strikes, which have been going on. So Tom is now standing in the middle. Tom, how deep is it? 7.5 inches. There you go. So after heavy rain, it comes up in the middle to 7.5 inches. He's gonna. Can you kind of wander around that? Might be say we'll go for the middle of the bridge because some people might say you're not in the middle. I mean, you never know. I mean, some people might say that. Some say. I swear the trolls live. Be careful. 6 inches deep just there. There you go. So there you have it. What can I say? Tom's going the other side. Here we go. What have we got here? 7.5. There you go. So there you have it. After heavy rain, yellow alerts, yellow warnings. 6.5 and 7 inches deep. There you have it. I mean, I can't tell you the last time that the water runoff was cleaned out. I have no knowledge. I don't know. But I thought I would bring that to you. Now, the other thing that has also been criticised on the channel, gosh, I'm really on my soapbox today, aren't I? So the other thing that's been criticised quite heavily on the channel is I dared to mention the R word. Yes, I mentioned reform. I did. I mentioned reform, the Reform Party. I'm going to mention it again, the Reform Party. That's the party that was elected, right? Now, an election, if you're struggling with this, the election works on what's called a vote, and all the people that want that party in vote, right? And whoever gets the most votes, that means the majority of the people, that's then what happens. So the majority of the people wanted reform to be here. And that's exactly what happened. The viewing galleries, just there, were built while the people stood there and watched the cars splash through the water and drive through here, and they did it for decades. So then the viewing galleries were built. People then amassed on the bridge, waiting to be splashed, not crying because they got splashed. You know, not, oh, a big bad car came and splashed me. Again, with some of the comments, or you can get pointing license for that, you can have this, you can have that, we must report them. No, it doesn't work like that. The people came here to be splashed, and the people encouraged cars to splash them. So bearing that in mind, that is what we filmed. And if you look on the channel, you'll see that that's exactly what went on and what we filmed. Not YouTubers encouraging anybody. That was people enjoying themselves here, having fun. Now, I know a lot of us haven't had a lot of fun for a while. Well, I get to have fun a lot, but a lot of people haven't had a lot of fun. And this place was somewhere that was nice to come and have fun. So there's no update on here as of right now. You now managed to hear that letter that was posted up on the council notice board. We do check the board regularly, and we checked it today to see if there's any updates, and Tom reminded me, he said, mate, you didn't record the last one. I went, oh no, I'm going to have to record this one. So my apologies to everybody for that being late. And hopefully one day we will see this place reopened, everybody having fun. It's 4 o'clock on a Sunday now, and if you cast your minds back, this time 3 years ago, 4 o'clock on a Sunday here would have been flat out busy. This would have been full of people in the beginning of July. At the weekend, it would have been flat out with people. And it's not. So hopefully, James Gamble from the Reform Party, not the other parties because they didn't get in. And if the other parties had been campaigning to open this, then I'd be reporting on that. If James were trying to close this, I'd be reporting on that as well. But hopefully this will reopen, and then we can see people back here splashing and enjoying themselves and having fun, but keeping it sensible.
So this is tape measure. That's 7.5 inches right there. That much. We'll wander over to the middle. Slap bang in the middle. Steep as it goes. 7.5 inch. After all that rain, it's only that deep.
Why is it closed?
Yeah.
Because the local...
To drive through too fast and flood their engines.
Some people do that. Yeah, some people do that.
I've driven through this Ford hundreds of times and never had any problem.
Yep. So they closed it basically. Yeah, they didn't like everybody congregating here and using the viewing gallery that's, you know, purpose-built. They said the YouTubers encouraged everyone to drive through. They accused us of blocking up the waterways down there, which we didn't do. And yeah, so now, of course, the taxpayer is paying every week for these concrete bollards to be in place this side and that side. But the Reform Councillor James Gamble has come down here about a month ago. It was 3 inches deep at the time, and he said, why are we paying for a road to be closed when it's 3 inches deep, and then everybody else has got to drive around as well?
You can drive, if you use your brains and drive through there nice and steady, it's not a problem. Yeah. Like I say, I've driven down this road since I was 17. I'm now 55, and I've never had a problem in going through this river.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, if it's a rainy season, it's fine, then you turn around, but use your brains.
Exactly, and you can see it. It's not like, we also get told, so many people have said, why don't you stop people? Why don't you tell them to go back? It's like, you can see the water there. You can see the level there.
If they can't use the brains, then they shouldn't have a driving licence.
Exactly. Exactly.
I can drive through that safely and not knacking this engine up.
Yep.
Because they create bow wave over the engine, and the next thing, the engine's sucking water into the end, and then they're locking the engine up.
Yeah.
And then they try and start it, well, now you just bent your pistons.